Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is compare a couple of third-row SUVs. So next to me here is the Honda Pilot, and what I want to do is compare that to the all-new Kia Telluride. So we'll look at the interior, the third row, second row, check out the driver's seat, and see which SUV might be perfect for you. Okay, so this Pilot we have here today is going to be the Elite trim level. Now that's going to give you almost all of the equipment you can ever ask for in a vehicle, and this one also is going to be in the all-wheel drive. Now this has a V6 that's going to give you 285 horsepower, and configured in the all-wheel drive trim, this with the towing package will be able to tow 5,000 pounds. So this is Honda's largest SUV they've ever built, and for good reason, because we want all of our space and we need a lot of stuff to bring with us, it seems like whenever we're going anywhere. But the Honda Pilot delivers on more than just storage capability or hauling people around. When we're comparing this to the Kia Telluride, you're actually going to have quite a bit of room in the third row when compared to that vehicle. So now this one being the Elite trim level, you're going to add some niceties to the exterior of the vehicle. One being the optional wheels that are going to be the 20-inch wheels on this model. You'll also notice this is a complete redesign. So for 2023, the body on the outside is going to look much different, as well as a ton of stuff on the interior. You've got these great LED headlights that are not only going to make it safer for driving at night, but have a very distinct look up front. Again, that's going to match with the new grille design, which I think Honda knocked it out of the park, as this is an amazing looking vehicle. But let's hop over to that Kia Telluride and we'll take a peek at that. Okay, so now we're looking at the Kia Telluride. Now this is the EX trim level with the all-wheel drive system. Now this is also going to have a V6, and it's also going to be capable of towing the same 5,000 pounds that the Honda Pilot can tow. That's going to get you your large boat to the cabin for the weekend. Maybe you have the utility trailer. Both these vehicles are going to do a ton of usable stuff and be very reliable while they're doing it. Now, Kia is known for having its 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and this is a great option if you're looking for a third-row SUV. This particular Kia Telluride is going to be the EX trim, just below the highest SX trim, but it's going to offer things like these cool LED headlights as well as the 20-inch alloy wheels. And I love the styling of the Kia Telluride. You can always see those kind of amber outline headlights coming down the road, and overall I think Kia did a great job with the design language on their new models. Now maybe you're not doing any trail running or anything like that, but if you do go on any gravel roads or if you're going camping, the Telluride is going to be more than capable to get you to that campsite and have a ton of usability along the way. Now most of the good stuff is going to be on the inside, but let's hop over to the Honda Pilot first before we check out this one. Okay, so now on the inside of the Pilot here, on the second row, again, this is a complete redesign from the outgoing model. You have a ton of great equipment in here, as well as a great style, whether it's the two-tone leather seats. They're also going to be heated here in the back for the second row. Now this one is going to have the bench seat, but you do have a little lever you can pull here. And when I pull this, I have an awesome armrest with cup holders, and as well, this is going to be a slidable seat. So there's little tracks down below, so I can slide it forward and back. I can give a little more space to the third row, or give myself a little bit more room here. Now this is where I was driving comfortably, and you can tell I have a ton of headspace, I have knee room, and the panoramic sunroof for the second and third row really opens it up back here and makes it very nice and comfortable. Now one of the cool things, there's this little pouch here. Everybody's got their cell phone with them, right? So you've got a little area where you can store your phone. Again, you have your own climate control as well as USB down here. So for the second and third row passengers, it's gonna be comfortable. You're gonna have a ton of equipment, but in the driver's seat is really where you're gonna wanna be. So let's hop over to the Telluride and check out that second row before we hop back into the driver's seat of this one. Okay, so now we're in the second row of the Telluride, and I gotta say, you do get a lot of legroom in here as well as a ton of headroom. Now, this one doesn't have the full panoramic sunroof like the Honda Pilot does, but in this particular trim level, you are gonna have the third zone climate control up above. So you can reach up control down there. You also are gonna have a 12 volt, but one of the coolest things is the USBs are actually tucked into the side of the seat, so it makes it easy to have your phone and keep everything charged up. You also are gonna have a little pocket down here for your cell phone, which is nice for your rear passengers. Now this EX does have the premium trim level, so like I said, you get those 20-inch wheels on the outside, and you also are gonna have the captain or bucket chairs here in the second row. Now, as far as third row space, like I mentioned, the Honda Pilot is gonna have a little bit more legroom. So if you got the kiddos back there, they are gonna be a little bit more comfortable in the Pilot. But with the captain's chairs in this model, it's super easy for them to access that third row. Just crawl through the middle, or these seats, there's a little button you can press and it's just gonna flip it forward. One of the coolest things with both the Telluride and the Pilot, so if you do have a child seat in here, you don't have to unclip it or take it out. It'll just fold, or you can slide. Again, both models have the sliding seats, so you can just slide the seat forward and then people can crawl into the third row. Okay, so now in the Honda Pilot, again, the driver's seat, super comfortable. As I hopped in the vehicle, I fired it up here and I've already got my ventilated seats running. There's also gonna be heated seats for the driver and the passenger here, as well as a heated steering wheel, which is one of those features that you haven't used in the Minnesota winter. It's impossible to give that back up. Now, the infotainment screen is going to be a little bit more updated for this year. There's a 7-inch screen and a 9-inch screen. Obviously, the Elite model that we have here today is going to have all of the goodies in here, and it's super responsive. I can't believe how fast it is. It's such a great upgrade from the outgoing or previous model. It's quick, the backup camera in here. So this one does have the 360 surround view camera. It's crystal clear, it's easy to see. No more bumping into stuff at the grocery store or getting into those tight parking spots. That is a great, great backup camera. Beyond that, again, we've always got our phones with us, right? So this one is gonna have wireless charging capabilities for this model. They've got USB plugs up here as well, so you can always keep your devices charged up. And there's a lot of storage space. There's a huge cubby here, which is really cool. And even with the third row all the way up, you do get a lot of storage room in this vehicle. Plus, there also is roof rack rails up above. So if you wanna throw a roof box or your ski box up there, you get a ton of cargo and usable space that way. Now you're also going to have a digital display. So on the steering wheel, it's a little busy, but you can kind of figure it out once you're in here for a little bit. The left side is going to control some of your audio stuff, whether that's your Bluetooth, your FM radio, and the other side is going to give you a ton of information. So that's going to be all your trip computer, navigation, all the driver safety, everything is going to be housed on that right side. And you're also going to have an adaptive cruise control, so that's going to be your other buttons here. So the Honda Safety Suite has so much equipment, you could spend hours going through it all. But I mean, overall, all of the safety equipment that's in this vehicle is going to keep you and your family very safe when you're on the road. And like I said before, with all those driver safety features, I mean, you're gonna have the heads-up display, which is gonna keep your attention going forwards. So that's gonna give you your speedometer, some of your navigation stuff, forward collision warning, there's gonna be adaptive cruise control, road mitigation, there's a lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring. I mean, it goes on and on. Like I said, you could spend hours going through all the safety stuff, which is very important if you're gonna have yourself and your family in the vehicle. Okay, so now we're in the driver's seat of the Telluride, and again, we've got our cell phones with us, right? So this model also does offer wireless charging, so you can just set it down there. There's also the one USB plug up here, and there's a little cubby where you can keep that out of sight. Okay, so with the infotainment screen here, super easy and straightforward. Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. You've got navigation. There's something that says Sounds of Nature, which was interesting to me. But when you click that, it's gonna play a bunch of different like open air cafe, fireplace sounds. Sounds kind of funny, but it's a kind of a cool little thing. Now from there, you also are gonna have the dual climate control, like I said, up front, and then your third zone in the back. This one does have heated as well as air conditioned seats. You've got your easy controls right here. You're also gonna have the heated steering wheel, which is super nice, again, in those Minnesota winters. Now, not a full digital display on this one. The gauge cluster is still gonna have your standard gauges. The Honda definitely wins out in that regard. This feels a lot older, kind of an outdated system after looking at that one now, but it's easy to use. Again, most of the stuff you're gonna be doing is through your infotainment screen anyways, so that's not a huge deal. So the backup camera on this one doesn't have that full 360 surround view that we have here today, but it's a crystal clear screen, easy to see, and again, that backup camera is gonna help you out, and there's also sonar systems, so it'll beep once you start getting close to something. Okay, so a lot of the same safety features when comparing to the Honda, things like the adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, pedestrian alerts, all that good stuff is gonna be built in here so you and your family can be safe when you're on the road. Now the Kia Telluride, I think if I'm looking at one, I'm looking at the EX trim. These seats are super comfortable in here. It's got plenty of get up and go. I love the ride and drive when I was out on the road. When comparing it to the Honda Pilot, this has an 8-speed versus that Pilot having the 10-speed transmission. So that one did seem a little smoother kind of through the gears. But I mean, overall, this is a really comfortable ride. It's got a lot of space in here, a lot of usability, and all of the technology that both offer. I mean, it really is kind of apples to apples when you're comparing the same trim level, but it really can break down to styling. Is it the warranty? Is it the overall reliability of the vehicles? I mean, there's a bunch of different factors that go into it, but this was just a quick look at a few different models. So overall, what do we think? I mean, the Honda Pilot is incredible, and with the new updates to the exterior, some of this interior changes that have happened in the infotainment screen, where are you spending most of your time? Right here in the driver's seat. It's comfortable, it's got a great sound system, it's got a ton of usable space in here. I mean, I think you have to get out and drive one, see what you think. Okay, so we looked at both models. Now, if you want more information on either the Kia Telluride or the all-new Honda Pilot, make sure to call, click, or stop by today, or you can visit us online at walser.com. Thanks again for watching.